Now, our session today is actually brought to you by ERA Advisors, by Miss Lai Semiet, Jack Group, and PJ Roadshow team. So now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Miss Lai. Right now, Miss Lai, a little bit of a background about Miss Lai. She's a senior franchisee and estate planner at Rockwills. She's also an Islamic estate planner at Asahin Trustees, and she's a chief agency manager in Zurich Life Insurance. So overall, she's had about 25 years in the financial planning career. These are some of her companies that she actually represents: Zurich, Rockville, and Al Asahin. Now, without further ado, Miss Lai, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thanks, Sanjit.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Sanjit. Okay, so I hope everyone have already had your dinner, and also thank you for your time in attending these sections. Okay. What is financial planning? Actually, most of the people will ask, is it just insurance, or is it just investment? Let me just have a very simple briefing to you on what is financial planning. Okay, so financial planning is actually basically cover three areas, which is wealth protections, wealth accumulations, and wealth distribution. Okay, today our topic is on the modern estate planning is actually referring to the wealth distribution. And this wealth distribution we cover for individual people, and we also cover for corporate on the business insurance and the business estate planning also. So these are all covered under a one-stop financial planning. And what we do is today we're talking about this modern estate planning. Modern estate planning is the basic thing is the will, followed by trust and you need a funding. Without funding, your wishes may just merely wishes. We can't realize for you. That's why the funding is still very important. So life is very uncertain, and currently everybody is under this pandemic period. No one knows when would it be end. Okay, even before this pandemic or any times in future or right now, nobody will know what will happen. But we have to be proactive to act, okay? But we have to be prepared also. If any one of us no longer around, the most impact is our beloved one, beside the emotional loss. Why? Let me see. All your asset, first thing, your car, your unit trust, the money in the bank, and your shares in Bursa Malaysia, the land and the property are frozen. Frozen meanings you cannot withdraw, you cannot sell your property, you cannot sell your unit trust when you need money. But don't forget, during asset frozen time, your bank loan, you still need to serve, your car installment, you still need to pay, and everything you own to the bank, you own to the financial institution, you still got to pay. Except the EPF and the life insurance, if you have nominees, then they are not fall under the estate. So you can get these two, you can get money from these two sources. Okay. So now look at what is the impact of this asset frozen? How does it flow? When someone no longer around, okay, there are two ways we can defrost our asset. One is follow. Without will, you have to apply LA. You have to apply LA. LA means letter of administrations. Okay. And another document, if you have a will, then you apply grant of profit, means GP. So how long does it take to process this GP? It's actually overall 6 months. However, you want to apply for LA, it takes 1 to 3 years. You can see the time difference. Okay, after you get your LA, you get your GP, then you have to collect all your cash in the bank. You can read this document, you can go to the bank, go to unit trust company, okay, And if you do not have nominees in your insurance and your EPF, you can also need to have the LA or GP to apply. Okay, with this, you have already finished all your assets, and also you also have to list down all your properties as well. Okay, then after that, you need to notify to the creditors, you need to advertise in the newspaper, and who are the creditors. Then you have to settle the creditors' debts. After that, you have to make sure that you make payment to IRB, the income tax department. So it takes about 3 to 18 months. Okay, so overall, when by the time we distribute everything from the movable and immobile asset, it takes, with will it takes 1 to 2 years. Without will, it takes 3 or more than 7 years. Okay, this can't be avoided. So asset frozen is one of the very, very first and foremost, this is happen. Secondly is, how is the distribution? Is it, are you going to be distributed to your according to your wishes? Okay. So you look at here, a lot of people, they have estate, but they don't know how to process it. So a lot of unclaimed estate. Okay, 60 billion unclaimed estate in year 2016 in Malaysia. Okay, because of a lot of it, they don't know how to go about it. Even you say you want to apply for LA also, they stuck, they don't know. And they have to list out all the deceased person's liabilities, asset, and all these things. So who will be the administrator? A lot of issues may arise. Now we look at, even we will also come across that the delay. Why? Because just now when we mentioned, when somebody no longer around, asset frozen, okay, and list down all the asset and liabilities, go to High Court, apply GP, and once you get a GP between 3 to 6 months with known as profit, then you collect asset, advertise in the newspaper, then you pay off all the outstanding tax, and you get the clearance letter from the income tax. Okay, then after that, executor have to pay the balance to the beneficiary. So all it takes 36 months. Can I ask, if this 36 months, your loan, you still have to continue to pay? Can bank say, okay, you wait until 36 months later, then only you make your payment? No way. That's not like right now, MCO time, we have a moratorium. We can temporary 6 months without payment. But this is only happen when come to this pandemic period. But it is not when come to individual person no longer around. Okay, we look at the wishes of the distribution part. If without will, okay, we have to follow the Distribution Act 1958, which is stated clearly, those singles, okay, without children, okay, so if without will, that means the parents will get everything, but you have to wait 3 to 7 years and above. Okay, bear in mind. Okay, if those widow, they have parents and children. Okay, so parents will get 1/3, and the children will get 2/3. And last, the most common one, they have parents, they have spouse, they have issues, means children. So parents will get 1/4, spouse will get 1/4, and the children will get 2/4. Let's look at this scenario. It's more easier for you to see. But according to without will, without proper estate planning, this will happen. According to the 1958 Distribution Act, 1/4 of all your asset, okay, belongs to your spouse. However, another 1/4, okay, will be given to your parents. Okay, this 1/4 will be given to your parents, and 2/4 will be given to your children. So what happened is, many times when the parents pass away, during application of your LA, it takes about 3 to 7 years. So what happens if the parents pass away? So all your assets, okay, will be given, the 1/4 will be given to the parents' children, means your siblings. So in a way, a property's ownership from 5 becomes 7 people. Imagine if any of your siblings is stay in overseas. So how could you ask him to come and sign and agree to give back the property to your children and to your spouse? Okay, I come across one asset, it takes about 7 years until everybody is already aging and one of the siblings also passed away. So the property is also because of the time concern, some have been depreciated. So these are the things that we have to consider. Without will, this will be the impact. Next, we see overall, okay, we look at the speed, we look at the cost, okay, comparison without will and with will. Okay, we look at the distribution and we look at the incontestability. And most of the asset, immovable and immobile, basically you can see this is shorter time, okay? And in terms of legal fees, this is cheaper, 4,000 plus to 5,500, and this is 7,000. Why? Because you need to apply not only LA, you need to apply court of order. So all in, you have to pay more. And some, most of very crucial one is the property transfer. And in this scenario, without will, you have to pay the stamp duty. First 100,000, 2%, and second 100,000 is 1%, and so on. So imagine if your property is 500, easily nowadays 500,000. You need to pay at least 4,000 to 5,000, and if it's 1 million, at least 7,000 to 8,000. Good news to you, those with will, because this is a gift of love, so you no need to pay stamp duty, just a token of 10 ringgit to the land office. You can, in exchange, this is really a true love gift from your beloved one. Okay, and most important, the distribution part. Without will, we have to follow this distribution Act 1958. With will, you are free to give anyone that you like, even though they are not close relationship with you. Okay, this is their freedom. And the most troublesome is without will, you need to get 2 sureties. 2 sureties meaning is 2 guarantors who has the equivalent wealth as you, as the deceased person. Who can you find and are willing to also to act as a guarantor for you? So without will, you have to follow this. You have to look for these 2 persons. However, with will, you don't need to. And last but not least, incontestability. Definitely, this is an act no one can contest. However, will, there are some limitations still subject to contest. Okay, that's why we say a will is not perfect if it is a loan. Okay, let's see. Okay, setting up a will, we look at in general, overall, it is actually better than you do not do will because of the speed, okay, and because of cost saving, and it follows your wishes. However, once you have to realize the wishes, make sure you have enough cash. If you do not have enough cash, this is merely a wish. Your will is just a wish. We cannot fulfill or realize all your wishes. Okay? So why? Because you have to settle a lot of debts. And many people overlook this part. They think, okay, if I are not around, okay, I let my beloved one settle, they want to sell the properties, we let them do it. But imagine you want to sell, so it takes times. And imagine like COVID-19, is your property, the value will be depreciated? Were you able to get buyer? Your business, okay, would it be forever green? So these are the loans we have to settle before the beneficiary can get the money, before our beloved one can get the money. Your business loan, your car loan, and credit card. A lot of people say, I don't need to pay the credit card. So when I die, the credit card debt is offset. No such thing. And the most important is the income tax. You have to declare the deceased person's estate and see whether this person has has owned the income tax or not. Another very, very interesting, interesting and common that we can see a lot of people to avoid tax. This is what happened. Okay, besides they think they don't need to pay the credit card debts, they also avoid, during their lifetime, they avoid to pay tax. Okay, I will give you one example. Okay, like a hawker. Okay, so he said, I do not actually earn a lot. I do not have any salary. Okay, I just receive cash every month. But when I pay my tax, I only pay about 1,000 plus per annum. But when he passed away, he left his asset close to 2 million with properties, with cash in hand, you know. So income tax will look at your payment, previous payment to the income tax is very much big gap compared to the asset that you have. In this case, they know this person is trying to avoid tax during the lifetime. If you avoid tax during the lifetime, so IRB has the right to claim back all the tax from the executor. From the executor. This is why executor have to be very, very careful before they give away the money. They make sure they clear the income tax of the person. Otherwise, he has to bear it. Okay. The next one is, look at this. A lot of people say this is all misconcept. I have very little money in the little money and little asset. I just have I think it's okay. I just have a joint account with my spouse or my children. If I'm not around, they can take the money. Is it true? Okay, joint accounts, survivor holders, they have to subject to this cost. In case of the death of the customer, the bank shall hold the credit balance in the accounts to be sole order of the survivor, subject to the bank's prior right of claims and payment to the survivor is a complete discharge to the bank. It means to say, okay, if the joint account holder survivor, the one who still survive, actually he himself is joint account means he can withdraw the money, but that money may not belong to him unless, okay, he prove the ownership. This money is really mine one. You can prove the ownership, then it's fine. Okay, if you don't prove the ownership, that money is still not belongs to you. You are not the beneficiary. But many of the times, the spouse and children treat themselves as beneficiary, and they never distribute, compare it, and give to the executor. In this case, it will be a subject when the executor need the money to pay back the debts, to pay the income tax, so they can't find the money. They can sue the joint account holder survivor if they know that it's a joint account. So all these are subject to the claim by the creditors. Okay, so be careful. Joint account is just merely for you to withdraw the money by the joint account holder survivor, but it doesn't belong to the joint account survivor. You still have to give this money back to the executor, and this is part of the estate. Okay, and this is very important issue that you have to appoint an executor. What is this executor doing? He is a very important person, and he has to make sure that, okay, he do from the first step is apply the GP. If there is a will, they have to apply the GP. If no will, they have to apply LE. And this appointment of executor, if without will, you have to file to the court, and the court will decide. Husband and wife, okay, whoever no longer around, doesn't mean that your spouse can be executor. But in Maya, it's only decided by the court, because the parents of my spouse also can be the executor if they want to fight for it. However, if you have a will, it's fine. You can appoint who is the executor. And executor, make sure is trustworthy. This is the first thing. He has to be trustworthy, and he's willing to sacrifice his time to act And most of the time, they say, okay lah, since you are my siblings, since you are my close relative, I don't charge you anything. This is always the case. But true enough, okay, I have been an executor myself to my brother's deceased brother estate. We don't charge anything, but I really have to sacrifice my time. It's already been 2017 till now, already 3 years. Okay, I have resolved all the movable assets, but the immovable I still have not complete because the income tax clearance still not completed. Okay, and also you need to make sure that the executor must, whether is he have the knowledge to handle your asset properly. So if he doesn't have the knowledge to handle, then your asset will be reduction if you invest wrongly. And executor is still a human, he can pass away. Okay, halfway accident comes, critical illness comes, okay, he can pass away. If you have only one executor, so that's it, no more executor. Again, it can fall back to like a no will, no? The last one is very important also, the relationship between executor and the beneficiary. If the relationship is established, the beneficiary always do not follow the instruction of the executor, they will delay in many things. End up, the executor say, I want to give up. Okay, so there are a lot of unclaimed estate is because due to all these issues. So what we can, another issue is this executor, okay, he has to make sure he make sure he clear the income tax. Okay, this is the tax that he has to submit. If he failure to submit, okay, then he has to pay a fine not exceeding 5 million or imprisonment for a term of not more than 5 years. Okay, so this is what it means, that he has to responsible for the tax. Okay, so look at this real case, that this executor, who is the brother, okay, he is all the asset will be transferred under his name, and he is supposed to transfer to his other siblings, but he didn't. He transferred the shop house into his own name without following the father's will. Could be the father actually have 2 properties, one is to the younger brother, but he didn't. Because in the law of executor, okay, he has the right to transfer all the asset, movable and immovable, under his name first. Subsequently, only he gives to the beneficiary. However, because of he has this power, he can also become selfish without transfer to the rightful beneficiary. Same thing to this uncle. This honest uncle planted his niece 70,000 pounds inheritance. Okay, so this is why it is very important to appoint a capable and trusted executor for your will. So imagine, okay, just now when we mentioned about this executor, they are human, they can be trusted, but they can also fall sick and they can be no longer around. So who shall we appoint, the right person, the ideal person? Let's look at here. Okay, you have a choice to appoint Rockville trustee or any of the trustee company. Amana Raya also can. Because they have the professionalism, they have the expertise, and they are perpetual. That means they are not human. They can forever, this public trustee assist, and they have a higher standard of care. They know what is a code of ethics. They know what is their limit, and they have to be very impartiality and secure. And they really, they have the regular, these are regulations of Trustee Act 1949. That's why they have to follow, and they are accountable. And they have this field for many years already, so they are experienced. Okay. And last is also, they are also expert in their private trust. Some of the people, the deceased person who set up the trust, they can help you. And the last one, okay, trustee, robbery trustee has professional indemnity insurance. Meaning to say, if anyone sue them for their negligence, so they are being covered. They are being covered. Okay, insurance company, they don't simply cover. Only when they feel the risk is very low, then only they will cover. That means robbery trustee, they know the risk of being sued is very, very little, very, very slim. I don't say it's low, but it could be very slim. Okay. And limitations of wills is still, because it's not under the Distribution Act, you can still subject to disputes. Okay. Like sometimes people, okay, have done a will. What does it mean by the latest will can be easily contested? Okay, if I done my first will, okay, I give all to my children equally, and also I give to my spouse. However, 2 years later, I fall very sick. Okay, fall very sick. I sign the will, and we are not in sound mind. Okay, and my children, okay, say that, okay, this is the will. I think it is more fair that you give to me, who take care of you much. Okay, so I think looking at the situations, this person can be very, very sick and not in sound mind. He can just being asked, okay, to sign the will without knowing that the contents has changed. The distribution part has changed. So when the second will being filed to the court, the rest of the siblings do not get what is supposed to have. They can always contest to the court for the latest will. So why is it very important? Do not sign any will when you are critically ill or not in sound mind. It's easily contested. I have been getting one. I have got one will signed, but you need to have the doctors to be the witness when it comes to critical. So I always suggest all my clients, please, when you are in health, good health, in sound mind, you make a will, not the reverse. And also will, because it's influenced by others to make a will, also can be contested. And most important, also the witness. The witness is maybe is forced to be the witness. So all these disputes may lead to your estate. When you want to claim the time to give to your children living expenses, is all will be delayed. And also one thing you have to be careful. Okay, even you have write a will, I saw just now 40% people have also done a will. But will is not valid when your marital status change. Okay, when married, divorce, or remarried, or bankruptcy, or you lost the original copy of your will. So it's very important, your will cannot be used for the photoset copy, cannot be used. It has to be original. And last one, if you have abducted a child, okay, then you have to specify in your will, and a newborn children, okay. Last but not least, trigger events happen, can be disabled or no longer around, okay, of the beneficiary or your executor or your guardians, okay. So your new need to review. Review meaning is actually is to rewrite. And most important, the last one is your will have to place in a safe place. If you lost your will, meaning no will. If no will, it will fall to the 1958 Distribution Act. So if you already have written a will, please, I urge all of you, don't save the cost of putting your will into a will custody. Will has got a very fireproof and theft and confidential this will custody. So you have a peace of mind if your will and so important document you put here. Please, please do not put your will into the bank deposit box. If you put there, I'm sorry to say that you already, meaning is no will, because upon no longer around, you are not able to access to the bank until your GP apply. If you don't have a so-called a will, how can you apply GB? Again, it becomes LA. then you have to wait for 3 to 7 years. So don't put your will in the normal bank deposit. Put it into the right will custody. Okay, so remember will custody. So always, okay, last but not least, also I have to tell you that having will alone is not perfect. It has limitations. First thing is the delay, okay, 12 to 36 months. And sometimes, okay, will cannot be executed due to trigger event. How? Okay, coma. Okay, coma doesn't mean the person die. Coma, if the person do not die, how can you get the death cert? No death cert, you cannot apply GP. Okay? No death cert, you cannot apply GP because you need to have a death cert. It is not considered death. So when you still breathing, you're not considered death, so your will cannot be executed. Okay? I'm sorry to tell you that this is the fact. And the next one is missing in action, like the MH370, okay? Because it is not considered passed away, your body cannot be found, doesn't mean that it's passed away. You have to wait for 7 years. In normal circumstances, you wait for 7 years. Because of MH370 is a big tragedy in overall, right? So you need to, Najib has declared a year later because of family member need to survive, they need to pay the loan, they need to support their living expenses, they accept the fact that declare death. When Najib declared death, then only they can have the death cert, they can apply GP. Okay? So this is how, so if he will ask us why a modern estate planning, okay, will is better than no will. However, will alone is not enough. So I would like to pass this to MC to let my colleague, another speaker, Andrew, to share with you how do we, okay, have these solutions in order to make sure that in these circumstances, okay, there is a tools to help us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lara. I think that session was very, very informative. For me, what my major takeaway is really the time frame that it takes for these things to be executed. And even more so when there is no will in place, it takes much longer, and the challenges are a lot more, and it may not be distributed the way you want it. A very, very informative session, and I really enjoyed that. Thank you, and I'm sure many people would have as well. Now, next, our second speaker for this session, we have Miss Angel Tang. If you see, she's actually a LUTC fellow member. She's also a chartered financial practitioner, registered financial practitioner, master. She owns a master in science and financial planning, and a chartered insurance agency manager. Really, really experienced lady. And she's actually going to share about the difference between will and trust. What is trust actually, and how do you actually fund a will? So without further ado, Miss Angel, whenever you're
okay. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lai, and thank you, Sanjay, for the introduction. So now, today my topic is going to talk about what is a modern estate planning. I think nowadays, I think just now I look at the pool, and I really understand that many people understand what is will, and sad things that I see is only the trust is only 12%. So that is really, it's very important things that today we are going to share with you what is trust. And the more important thing is the funding, funding, the last part. So the modern estate planning, the sound,
I think the audio is a little bit unclear. Is there anything on the table or?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, a little better.
Better. Oh, sorry for that. All right.
No,
Okay.
maybe,
So,
actually, I realized we cannot move all our pen, our paper on the table. It makes a lot of noise.
oh, yeah. Oh, I am sorry.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, so tonight I'm going to share, my topic will be modern estate plan. So that will be under a will, trust and funding. Is it very, sorry, I'm so sorry, just to check whether if the sound is still okay?
Yeah, the sound is perfect. It's very good.
Oh, okay, okay. So that is why you look at this, why will and trust is very important. I think that's time Ms. Lai have given us a very good explanation on there is a two-way for us to distribution to our wealth to our beneficiary. The number one is we have to go through will. Many have misunderstanding that definitely there is a distribution to give it. Once I do my will, then the benefit will go into 100% will go into beneficiary. Is it true? So in actual fact, even we can using a trust to set up a trust. Anything happen to us, that will be death or TBD or even a critical illness, also you can distribute to your beneficiary that you want. But the important thing is here we look at the things that is the will, the distribution under the will. The important thing is a three problems. Sorry, is there anything on the?
Yeah, I hear music. I don't know where is that coming from.
It's because of the sound. Sorry. Okay. So that is the important thing of the will, and but the important thing is that there is an important of the 3D. I think Ms. Lai have given a very explanation. You can look at this statement. It's given by a lawyer. He mentioned that with a will, many people say is what is yours is not really yours until the court says so, right? So what does this mean? I think I need to share with you one of the case recently that we received. Okay, during our time, our sharing in the modern estate planning. So this guy, we did not, he's not our client, but when he came in and he listened to the 3D, what is the 3D? We are talking about the delay. Just now, Ms. Lai have given you the explanation of what is the why delay, and also the dispute, and also the debts. And this man have the father passed away with 20 short house, 20 short house, and with 6 piece of land in Johor Bahru, right? So it's a so-called a millionaire. So, but the father have written a will, rewritten a will from, and the sole executor will be this man, Mr. A. And I'm sad to say that until today, they can't take anything of the grant of probate. What will be the reason? From the reason behind is because of the fight within the brother, sister, the sibling. And the reason fight because of the money and because of the unfairnesses. And he will be claims he is the sole executor on this policy, on this will. So that is the unfairness from the brother, sister, and they feel he will be very, very, will control all the matters. So in order to do this, so what may they do as a beneficiary? They just forget about everything. They just whack the whole thing, and they just forget to go and to declare and to reach out to the, and when the lawyer calling on them to go to the lawyer office, they don't want to do it. So it's a very uncooperative. So what can the executor to do? If because the according to the benefit is equivalent to all share among all. So from the will, it's not 100% that is yours. It's until the court so. Until, and this case is been pending until six years. So going to be 6 years.
I was just going to ask how long the case is.
Yeah, it's going to be 6 years. So, and the brother did not know what is going on, don't know what is going to help, and even he go and see the lawyer also cannot do anything, right? So because become of the time and the money and also the relationship is all been tarnished. So this is a very big things that is going to be happen. So now my topic will be coming in. What is trust now, right? So the trust, in actual fact, why the importance of trust? In actual fact, to minimize out the 3D. right? So if, and this Mr. A told me, if the father know how to do it properly, I think they were not facing this problem and now, yeah. So they thought from a will they can settle out everything. In actual fact, it's not true, right? So in actual fact, it's not true until the court will say so, yeah. Okay, now what is a trust now? So in actual fact, simple words on this trust is called a legal arrangement. What is a legal arrangement? It's a legal arrangement. The key words is control and distribution accordingly. So it's a very strong tools to protect your wealth. It's a very strong tools to protect our wealth, because this many people do not know that, because this is a it's really a protection. It's also a management and also a control distribution up to the beneficiary, right? So here we can look at here is what do you mean by how does the trust work? So number one, the settlor, the owner. Let's say example, the Mr. A, the father, he will be the settlor and a legal ownership. Okay, legal ownership. They got 20 property, 6 land, all fully paid, fully paid, yeah, all clean title. So if the father know how to do it, and he got 5 children, five children, and they know how to do it, and they will be done it, and they pass it to the trustee, okay, and to distribute out to the beneficiary, I think for the benefit of the beneficiary, the interest of the beneficiary, then this thing will not happen now, yeah. So you can see, even the father put at all 5 equal share in one piece of land, in one piece of house. So what do you think about this thing? Definitely there is a fight. And one of the brother is really, go all out. He said, I'm not going to take the asset. I don't care. I want to clear the asset. But what I want is to make you suffer. So this is a fight between all the family members. We can see, and even the lawyer also can't do anything. Everything, you cannot do anything. Not even one beneficiary is going to be incorporated. And why we need a trust? The trust, just now Ms. Lai had mentioned, number one, within your lifetime, so you got to take care of your own self. Like what happened, trigger event happened, and what happened when you have coma. So you got to take care of yourself, because as a will, they will not do it so, right? And second thing is the fast distribution. Fast distribution is from a trust going to a trust to the beneficiary. They did not require a LA or GP. Anything happen, so the trustee will act accordingly to your trust, the trust deed, and to pay you out. Okay, so this is one of the things. They don't need to wait for GP. They don't need to wait for LA. So that is a wonderful thing, and no need to have this 3D minimize of the 3D. Yeah, so the delay and the dispute, and again the debts. All right, so it goes directly. All right. So, and one important thing is I think the protection is because of the spin-thread beneficiary. Can I give you an example on this? Okay, this particular case is really a real case for us to understand. If you don't know how to manage your money, I think this is the big things that we have to look, and you look at the real example, and you really feel very, very sad. All right. Okay, this Indian woman and the husband killed by the hijacked taxi outside Changi Airport. Okay, so he got a claim. This is under an insurance claim plus all the donation collected by the company, company, and to pay 1 million to her. If you never happened or you never got the million, suddenly you got 1 million Sing dollar. Malaysia is 2.7 M. So here, what you are doing? So what are you going to do? And with this big money. So you know how to manage, and sad things happen is she have this money, and she invested into her brother transport business. He want to do business. But when the business failed, 6 months, and all her money gone. Okay, even within a year, okay, she only left up $50 Sing dollar into her account. And this widow is become broke. Okay, the moral of the message passed to us is you must know how to manage your money. But can your beneficiary, if they are young, if they are inexperienced, or they are cheated by someone, or they just don't know what to do, so if they have a big sum of money, what do you think they will do? Right? So with the trust, at least, you know, to set up a trust, and this will not happen just like that, you know, overnight. You know, she wanted to be a businessman, right? So, and this is a very sad things. And another trust case that is a very successful is a Lindia Sam. What you call Sendins, yeah. When she passed away, her girl is very young, all right? So she know that she don't know how to manage her finance because a young girl. So if you have young children, do you think they can manage? And her estate, she inherited the mother estate is 60 million. If one day you got 60 million, suddenly the eye also pop up. Okay, so what are you going to do with it? So for this case, and this Lindia Sam, she set up a trust and to give her daughter, okay, a 20,000 Hong Kong money, so equivalent to a Malaysian 8K, 8,000 a month, until she reach up to 35, only she can inherited her big sum of 60 million. So this is to let her, during this period, she must learn how to manage her finance, right? So this is a case that to let us think of, if we have a minor children, if we have a beneficiary in which we did not know how they're going to manage, then we receive a big sum of money or so small sum of money, also how they are going to do it, all right? So now, the structure of trust. So therefore, the trust is very, very important, right? So the structure of trust can be set up under this trust fund. So the insurance policy money you can put under the trust fund, even your cash, your unit trust, even your company share, right? But just now I mentioned that if any property or anything that is still outstanding, sorry, you cannot setting out a trust for those is not fully paid. Okay, like Mr. A, can, the father got property, got anything, so they can set up under one trust fund. But this one is, if you can set up under this trust, it all must be fully paid, okay, all must be clean title. Only you can set under trust fund. So you must assign this right, the legal right. Just now I mentioned that it's a legal right, right, to a trust, professional and professional and experienced trustee. You cannot give to anyone. Just now Miss Lai had given a very good example herself. You know, I just here I want to quote an example. 4 years ago when my mother passed away, even she have a cash, she have a property rental. So when the time when my mother passed away, so she shared with me how she want me to handle her matter, all her money. And at that time, I'm thinking, and I have a discussion with my brother, and my brother say one thing, never mind lah, just distributed out among all 7 brothers, sisters, all the siblings, then they got to take care of them own self. And I always believe on one thing, if for I and him, no problem, because we know how to manage our money. But for other brothers and other sisters, there is a big challenge. They don't know how to manage. So I told my brother, why not we take up the fund? We take up the fund, we take up the duty as the, a love and responsibility duty to take care of my mother fund. Do you know? And I'm very happy, even I share with Miss Lai and some of my colleagues, Jacqueline. So I say, do you know, I'm so happy, since after my mother passed away, every time New Year, my house, a lot of people, all my brothers, sisters, all came back. You know why? The money is going to distribute it on that day. Okay? So, and all the big ampao, and my brother doing it, all the money all put in the ampao. And I love it. And I see it's wonderful. But recently, I just told my brother, both of us will die one day. who is going to manage this money, right? So when they receive the money, they start talking about my mother, my good mother, even can remember my mother's name, I hope so. So there is one little thing, even you can tell the grandchildren, hey, you know, Amma giving me this ampao, you know, even he's not around. I think this is very meaningful of a trust lah. Yeah. So I told my brother, I think it's time for us to set up a trust and pass it to a trustee to handle the matter, right? Because yeah, the trust fee is all right. Even we also, with both of us, it's not trust fee. Yeah? So, and it's to benefit all the beneficiary to all the children. And from the trustee, you can mention that what you want to do. Like example, my house, a simple trust, we call family trust or whatever thing. So, and this simple trust, when any of my nephew married, we are going to give them ambao also. Yeah. So any of the children, they need a school fee, we also come up from this fee. So this is so-called a trust deed among us, among all our brothers and sisters. So that is very important, right? So many people will say, once you ask them to set, they say, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of cash. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of property. My property is still under a loan. So I don't have a lot of cash. Even I have a cash, maybe I need it, right? So how? So now, today we are going to explain to you insurance trust. Now, yeah. So in actual fact, this is a wonderful, wonderful. A lot of rich people, they feel this is a important and is a best cost-effective insurance. Insurance is the best cost-effective. You know why? Insurance plus trust, right? So how they work it? Okay, like they settle up they buy the settle law. So the owner, they buy insurance, they assign the policy to the trustee, right? So the trustee will hold the trust, they hold the benefit. But this one is when he die only, when he die or when he's sick or when anything. So when they have suffering from 36 dread disease, so they will hold the benefit on the benefit to the beneficiary. I think this is very, very, very important, right? For insurance trust, right? Why insurance? Because not cash. Even this is the things, the benefit of in life insurance to set up, to use it to set up as a trust. There is a 3 benefit that is very, very important. This is a new modern way, because people will look at this as a benefit. The first benefit is a speech, and another one is a certain. What do you mean by certain? And what do you mean by multiply? So come to speech. You see, from you to the beneficiary, you take 2 years. So in between, I'm not going to talk more. Miss Lai has explained to you very, very important things. They must call in the asset. They must get apply for probate. If they don't have a will, worst thing. They don't have will, worst thing. Even they have a will, they need to get a GP. It's not easy. And the poor executor is going to be clear out the tax. Is going to be clear up the debt creditors. Suddenly who come and say you owe me some money, so the executor need to come up to raise up the fund. And where did they get all this money, right? If he did not do it, he's liable, even to, he's liable for all the responsibility, right? So, and only they distribute out to all the assets. And from will, in actual fact, will is not very favor to beneficiary, because important thing, if the testator did not do it well or did not properly plan, I think this is a big problem to the beneficiary as well, right? So for life insurance, you don't need probate, you don't need probate, you don't need grant of probate, you don't need LA, you don't need anything, right? If there is a happen of TBD, happen to be a 36 dread disease, or happen to be death, you know, not necessary to be death. For will, death, yes. But for life insurance, if you have this one, so these 3 we call problem. So, and they have just submit the claim, and the trustee will submit to insurance company, because the policy is assigned to the insurance to the trustee. So the trustee will do the necessary work and follow what is the trustees, and to take care of the beneficiary interest. okay, according to your trust deed. And they have so that is one of the important part on speed. So for certain things, because we love our children very much, and especially they are young, and also we love our spouse, and also, well, our older parents. So if anything happen under a financial act, there is a protection. So there is a protection to them. So the benefit was definitely given to the beneficiary. Who will be the beneficiary? So the spouse and the children, even the parents, right? So the important thing is it's no more his estate, is going to be given to the beneficiary under the trustee. And important thing is what is all about, most important thing is they are creditor proof. Let's say a will, they written a will, all their estate, if they still owe people, the creditor can come after the money. So that is why the delay of 2 years, maybe 3 years, if the creditor, they advertise up, they need to do an advertisement. So once the advertisement is out, so the creditor will come after the estate. And the estate you think is yours, is not yours. All right. So that will be giving a lot of problem. So for this insurance trust, so there will be a creditor proof. The money will still is not part of the estate. So they will give it 100% to the beneficiary according to the trustee, right? Okay, now, what do you mean by multiply? A little or asset can be used to generate a generation wealth. Here, I would like to say, now a new modern way. This is a #1 cash distribution tools in this modern estate planning. Why? Because it's a best cost effective. You are using $1 to collect $100. Okay, so that is a different, right? So here it's called cost effective. You know why? Because you are using a premium, $100 premium to create $100 wealth. So it's called a $1 to create $100 wealth, right? Here, one of the good example that I'm going to share with you, they're using a life insurance as a funding, yeah. Okay, this Leslie Chung, I think he commits suicide. He's an ex-singer in Hong Kong. He using his life insurance. In actual fact, he got 300 million estate to going to pass to his family. But because of this estate, in Hong Kong, they have a estate duty tax. Malaysia, boleh, they are coming soon. Okay, I don't know when. So it depends. So if they are talking about estate duty, just now talking to you about the Mr. A. This Mr. A, if Malaysia got estate duty, they got another problem out. Where is they have to pay for the estate duty? Where is the money to pay off? And for this Leslie Chung, his estate duty, he have to pay. Sorry, this is not 14M. It's 40, okay, Hong Kong money. And happen he have his life insurance just enough to pay his estate duty tax. So you can see the difference, the importance of estate duty. And this is from the Hong Kong. Okay, now we are coming to why modern estate planning. This is a new generation. Let's look at this here. Okay, a concept of modern estate planning. Definitely everyone of us here, definitely we have an asset or we have a wealth, right? So, but the more interesting thing, what is your need? I think the need is very important. Someone say, what I have, then I give it to them, through will, I give it to them, then through whatever thing, so I buy insurance, then I give it to them, okay? But we have to make it very clear. And in the modern estate planning, so we must know what is the urgent need that you have. They classify into two parts because two need. One is not urgent. So it's not urgent, like, you can start your business, expensive your business, or you can take your holiday. But the urgent need, you cannot, every day, we have to face it. Food, accommodation, education fee. Just now, Ms. Lai had mentioned to you, the medical fee, emergency expenses, but all the expenses. But after we went through, even my mother estate, we also know we really omitted part of our money. We are going to pay for our administration estate fee. Like example, pay to lawyer, pay to, to transfer. You can't put the deceased name under the property and still under the property name, So you cannot do it. Then how you're going to do it, right? So this is a big problem. Legal fee and tax, as well as executive fee, who is going to pay for? And even the transfer of property also costs us quite a lot of money. So this is one of the 90% people is not aware. You say this is not an urgent need, but you want to inherit the asset, the wealth. So how do you want them to to transfer to you? That will be taking about your 20%, 10%, 30%, or 50%. No one knows, right? So if he did not do it properly, I think this is a very important. So you got to do it two part. You got to make it yourself. Do it two part. What is your asset and what is your need? How you are going to give, right? Okay. So now the 4 important tools on the modern estate planning. So this is the 4 part. You left one part also cannot. So it's not, you never say will is not important, trust is not important. This is a 4 important part on the modern estate planning. So we always believe one thing is diversification portfolio is very, very, very important, right? I think after today, you really, really look into this, how is important estate planning to you, and the diversification to the portfolio is very important. Don't kill the idea, because that is very, very important. For these 4 important tools, we look at the new estate planning tools. You look, the will is not urgent, okay? Many people also never do will, but it's to say from the will, you say, I want to give it to who lah, right? So whether he get it or not, nobody know lah, right? But from here, if we want to wait for will, then about 2 years, 3 years, so there is another challenge, right? So why not you set out a trust, a control, at least a control, giving to a standard of maintenance fee to them, or if they don't know how to, once they receive the inherited the estate, they don't know how to do it, can they do a control distribution? Yes, you can through a will, to make sure they pay them, rather than other people will come after them, or a lot of butterfly will come to them if they got a lot of money. Yeah, okay. So that is how you are going to control the distribution. But the important thing is the urgent, because this part, a lot of people now, they really agree. I think everyone here, they agree. The important thing, when you sick, whatever money that you have in the bank, still not enough, right? When I doing, in actual fact, I'm doing a preparation for this talk. I just shared with Miss Lai just now. I just rushed to a hospital to visit one of my best friends, and a very sad thing, this young boy, 29 years old, when he's few years ago, he suffered from diagnosed nose cancer. He's a very, very young. Now his age is 38. Okay, so when he diagnosed nose cancer at age of 29, and he got 3 very young children. Now we look at here, okay, and when he diagnosed cancer, he spent off all his insurance. Okay, no more insurance, right? Then our company happened to have an insurance in which they can take care the cancer patient. He came to me, and he wanted to do the plan. But when I talked to him, he need to come up money lah, okay. But suddenly he say, Miss Teng, I really, Angel, I really need it urgently, because I have 3 young children. I don't have any saving at all. So these things is bring up to me, and we took up the policy, and sad things is the policy need to wait for 2 years. Need to wait for 2 years. He took up the unit, the maximum unit. I say you can afford. So he said he will take up all his cash and to buy an insurance. When a person really suffer and they really know that the insurance is urgent and distribution to the family member, and this thing happened, and because of COVID, he working in Singapore, and his boss asking him to stay home, Okay, no need to come and also say bye-bye to him. So he facing a lot of stress and all these things. So end up he got stomach pain, just a stomach pain. End up he admitted under ICU. Okay, now it's not recovered. So the sad thing is our policy is not even 2 years. So it's not going to be claimable, right? So there will be a waiting period for 2 years. So this thing, it made me feel so sad. Okay, even I talked to the doctor, you know, try to save him and all these things. And we found out he don't have any saving, he don't have anything. So this is one of the things that life insurance is important. Well, I'm not here to sell life insurance, but it's important to the estate planning, right? So for insurance trust, so if they have an insurance, so what is urgent and control using an insurance trust to help out the family, right? So this 4 important part, you have to diversification, and it's a very good diversification portfolio in under this modern estate planning, right? Now, can we look at this old way? And this is what so-called my family, my family. So we work very hard. We save a lot of money. We save all these things, like my mother. They save. She don't eat. She don't pakai. She don't want to spend. He want to keep all for her children. So and through a will, she give it to all of us, all of 7 of us. All right. So this is a way of traditional estate planning. So you save. You work very hard. Then you save, and all this money will give to all your children in equal share. But a smart way of a mother will be a different way. Okay. In actual fact, my mother should take this 1 million to enjoy. In actual fact, I wanted to bring her to England. My son is there. So and I see she's not so comfortable, and I say I want to buy a first class flight, business class, right? And she told me, if you buy business class, I'm not going. I'm not going because she wants to save the money for me, right? And she said, no way. She like a very typical way of, a woman, and she want to keep everything. Not even she want to pass away. She makes sure I take care of everything. So this is one of the things, is a way of traditional estate planning. A modern traditional planning, we think on this way, right? So you use a little to create a big, to create another wealth, right? So just now I mentioned you use a $1 to create another 100. What do I mean? The 1 million you have in cash in the bank, if you can reserve a $500,000 to create another 3 million for your generation, another $500,000 you can using insurance to, to create another 3 million, and the other $500,000 you can enjoy yourself. You can spend time with your things, and you can, to take care of yourself. Even recently, when we share up this modern estate planning, one of my clients, he's a transporter. He told me he also very safe, conservative, and he said, "What you say is correct." I said, when you have $1 million, will you put in the bank? Definitely, you put in the bank, right? So you earn interest, right? Or you invest, right? So from the interest, I'm not going to take your 1 million. If I can take your interest to create a few million for the family, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think this is suddenly she asked me, say, come on, I'm going to do the planning on the trust, and I'm going to know how to give to my children. I got extra to give it to my children. I'm going to use my trust deed, the trust, to spell out. Because one of the children is really spending one. So this is some of the areas that the trust can be done, right? So as a plus, the insurance trust is wonderful. You don't need to use your cash. Use your cash to generate interest, and using the interest to multiply your wealth. I think this is a modern way, right? Okay, now people will say, I don't enjoy if I'm setting up a trust. But if you are using so-called cash, or even you are using insurance, so during your lifetime, in actual fact, you have 99% hold, so not to worry. because if you are still in living, so you have a 99% holding this benefit during your lifetime. So it's not the benefit is going to give away. Yeah. So it's you can control on this thing, right? And plus, what happens if there's a suffer from TVD or missing? So also you will spell out in the trust deed. So the trust deed is called a legal arrangement, how you are going to do it, yeah? How you want to be done, right? So just now I mentioned to you the Mr. A. He keep telling me, if my father know they can do all this thing, then today I no need to fight among all my brothers and sisters, right? So that is a very sad thing, Okay, now with a rock will, because you need to get a good trustee. Who will be your trustee? Who is going to manage? Who is going to protect your wealth? Okay, so this person must be a professional. So don't worry, under you want to do a trustee business, it's not so easy. So like bank negara, you want to put your money in the bank, you make sure, you know, even the bank 250,000 under PIDM, you still remember, don't put more than 500,000 or 1 million. Now the market is a bit down, yeah, right? So now if you have a trustee company, how can you trust? They are registered as control under under the trustee act. They must have an act to protect, right? So the duty of executor, the main duty, because the outside they have many trustee. So the more important thing, you got to check very carefully who will be the trustee, and your trustee is holding your wealth and to according to your deed and to pass on to your beneficiary. So the choosing a trustee is very, very important. For Rockville, they have more than 25 years experience. Even I understand that even the you know, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank, so all their clients, so they have assigned to trustee to appointed Rockville to be their trustee, right? So so the main duty as a trustee, what are they do? So they first in the list, they have to protect your capital. You know, they cannot simply use misuse on your money. Okay, so always they will put under a bond or called FD, you know, to generate interest and for the benefit to the beneficiary. Like example, you want to give every month to your children, so you can do so, right? Or you want to say when they reach 21, the whole money is going to give it to them. So this is one of the things that you got to discuss with your estate planner, and your estate planner will do so. It will explain to you. So the new modern way, last but not least, the new modern way, we have to take up. So you must have a will, you must have a trust, and also using a trust, you not necessarily you must use your cash. If you have cash, you have other things, that no problem. But if you want to multiply out your wealth, then you can use it a life insurance planning, right? So that is called 3-in-1 in combined. Without one, there is not a meaning of you know, a modern way of doing things. Yeah. So important thing is what you want. The important thing, you must understand your estate. So different family have different way of doing their things. So you must understand what is your estate and what you have in your cash, and you want to give it to your children. How you make sure you want to do it properly, as it's very important. And giving the use of the 3 concepts, wealth, trust, even multiplies up your wealth. You can use this way of doing it. Yeah. Last, I will hope my small sharing, tonight sharing, will help you and your family, and I hope they can plan it in this modern estate planning way. Right. With that, I think I pass back to Sanjit and the MC to close up my sharing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Miss Angel. I think that was a very, very good and informative session on the difference between trust and how do you actually set up a trust, how do you use insurance to fund the will, and the real cost actually that that is required in terms of, like you mentioned, in lawyer fees and also in all the administrative costs. So without further ado, we are going to move on to the question and answer. So yes, if you have any questions, please do submit your questions at the chat box below. We are having a little bit of sound issue, but we will look to rectify that accordingly. But before that, let me start our second poll. We are also having a second poll now. So let me begin the second poll. And if you have any questions, please do drop it down below in the chat box. So let's go through the questions in the poll. We have the first question: by now, how much understanding do you have in will? The second question: how much understanding do you have in trust? And the third question: will you plan to take action the following estate planning? The fourth question: will you refer your closed ones to attend this talk in the future? We do actually plan to have multiple talks in the future in regards to personal financial planning, personal money management, and things like that. So we will actually keep you guys updated on the sessions that we will have in the future. Now, once again, if you have any questions, please do drop it down below and we will look to resolve it. If there is no questions, I will end the poll in about, I think once I hit 60%, right now it is at 30%. I would like to invite everyone to take the poll. We have 14 out of 48 people who have already done the poll. I'll probably stop the poll in another 1 or 2 minutes if we don't have any questions as well. Okay, I'll be ending the poll in another 15 seconds. Another 15 seconds, I'll end the poll and then I'll share the results. And if we have no further questions, we will end the session as well. 15 more seconds to the poll. Thank you. I see some last minute submissions. Thank you very much. Also, if you have any further questions, you can always reach out to the people who have invited you for the session today. So with that, let me end the poll. And let me share the results. So by now, half of us have a good understanding of will, and approximately another half of us have a moderate understanding of trust, which is fair. I think we began with little understanding of what these two instruments are actually. The third part is, do you plan to take action on the following estate planning? Will and trust and modern estate planning, 52% of people said yes, they actually do intend to probably look into the prospect of how they can begin their will or their trust. And the next one, will you refer your close ones? A whopping 100% of them said yes, they will. So thank you very much. Let me stop the sharing here and share the results while I share my screen. Now with that, I would like to thank every one of you guys who have actually taken the time off to have a session with us. And do always take time to protect yourself, your beloved ones, and let our professional estate planners tailor it for you. Just have a conversation with us and we will be able to assist you in seeing which areas are your main concerns. Now, once again, our session today was brought to you by our professional estate planners at ERA Advisors, Jack Group, Ms. Lai Simian and team, and PJ Roadshow team. These are the people, the contact people that you can reach out to should you have any other questions. And with that, we are good to go. Thank you very much, everyone, for.
Sanjeev?
Yes, Ms. Lai.
Can I have the group screenshot?
The group screenshot. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, Kaden supposed to take the photo.
Ah, yes, I see a lot of. So also group screenshots.
Hi.
Hello. Do turn on your camera.
Hello.
Nice to have everyone. Yeah, finally we get to see everyone who's actually been joining us.
Yes.
Now, sometimes it feels like we're talking to a wall here. Yeah. Hey, we would like to request everyone to turn on your camera.
Yep.
Screenshot. Right. So anyone wants to close or...
Okay.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Great to see some of my colleagues, some of our clients, and some of my siblings are here.
That's nice. All right. So we'll take a picture in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think there's a second screen.
Hi, Philip.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, thanks, Sanjit.
Yes, thank you everyone for
Thanks,
taking.
Angel. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for the session.
Thank you for the
Very
session.
informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.